Hey, Manny Brim, I see you done lost your motherfucking mind, man. I seen your little comment about Max B and Jim Jones. Are you serious? Jim Jones made New York Bloods relevant? Son, you
Check it out. This is Loaf Life, Manny. I deserve a Grammy. I know some of you niggas can't stand me. And check this out, man. This is just a response to bad vibes. Man. Never met you before. Heard about you, of course. Shout out to, this is Big Bad Vibes. I got the word that this is the Big Bad Vibes. So, if it was the Little Bad Vibes, I would have had a lot of choice words for you. And not too much over the internet or no beef shit, but just to remind you of our last encounter in 2012 in Elmira. You feel me? But this is not that bad vibes. This is original bad vibes, big bad vibes, right? And I know of you. Don't know, never met you. Unfortunately, through my 23 years, I never got to meet you. But I know, the stories. I heard the stories. Of course, everybody got a story behind them, especially if you was a big homie or somebody that was a representative in the movement of the Damu culture on the East Coast. So, I say what I address you as Crystal Diamonds. That's what I address you as, Crystal Diamonds, because we all know the history. If you've been a part of this movement, we know what the U have done to, Two Gun Harry. We know what they did to that. So, Mr. Crystal Diamonds himself. Pleasure to meet you. You know what I mean? Pleasure to meet you. Via social. You could have tapped in. You could even hit my line. You got my info, of course. It's all over social media, so we could have connected like I did with Shaquell, So B, and all the other big bros that I either landed with in prison or bypassed and was able to connect with out here. I'm not hard to find, and I'm definitely all the way through real, right? So, um, bad vibes. Should I break this down? I'm gonna break this down real, cause I was here. I don't really believe you was in society. I think you was in prison. I was out in the streets. You understand what I'm saying? 9-5, 9 bigs, 9-7, 9-8. I was outside. I was in the streets. I got locked up in 1998, right? But y'all misconstrued what I was saying. What I meant by Jim Jones being the face of the Damu culture, it's a fact. You can say what you want. You could believe that all the negative, dumb shit that gave us a bad image in New York was the reason why everybody jacked Bloods. No, that's not it. I was here for that. I was home. I was actively involved in spring cleanups. I was actively involved in moving around listen, 5-9 headquarters was 165 in Sheridan, Shiesty Avenue in the Bronx, right? 1081 building. I was there for that. 5-5, Money Mike, Maine, all of them know me, right? Polo Grounds was 5-9 Brim's headquarters in the mid 90s, 9-5, 9-6, 9-7. My actual enlighter, the person who gave me life, was Almighty Infamous from the Polo Grounds. Also lived in the Bronx. That's also Ladybug's brother. So when you spit and you talk and you say, "Oh, Manny, you sound crazy." No, Manny knows what he's talking about because Manny was, guess what? Actively involved in this Damu culture. I was going everywhere from Long Island to Cali to the boroughs. I was involved. You heard? Not just talking, but involved. 97, 98, I got locked up, right? I got locked up in DFY. I'm younger than y'all, bro. I got locked up in DFY. I came home 2001. When I came home 2001, I'm everywhere again. I made my voyage back to Cali, came back all through the city, through the boroughs, and I planted it heavy in Long Island, right? So I seen how deep Damu was in New York. In New York, it was deep, right? But the spread, we're talking about nationwide, worldwide. We're talking about where the respect and where people said, you know what? I want to be like them niggas right there. That ain't happening to 03. After the Crip uprising, because you do know that in 2000, the Crips uprised. When Snoop start coming out dancing with the blue flag, and when the Chronic album dropped, the Chronic 2000 shit dropped, yeah, that led a big spread of the Crips in New York. These are facts. This is not, you know what I mean? You can say what you want to believe, but these are the facts. The hip hop culture helped spread Bloods and Crips worldwide, right? But in New York, I'm talking about where it just went on a world fire, where everybody, you had people running around you never even would think of, talking about they wanted to be Blood. Billy this, Billy that, Blood this, Blood that. And then just like in furtherance, Cardi and Star. They made it popping for prime time for everybody. Remember, prime time was a small hood. Prime time, Mad Stone, Mad Dog, Sex Money. These were hoods that were small. BSV. These were small, real small hoods. We were so small and so tight knit, nigga. Nobody could infiltrate and nobody could do nothing to us because we were militant and we were educated sets, hoods. Never forget that, bad vibes. See, the thing is this. Y'all be so quick to want to discredit, man, or jump on here for clout. You don't even pay attention to the things you say, nor know who you're talking to. Because I'm really him. The way y'all feel y'all are them, I'm really him. I really had a movement in the streets at a young age, at 15, moving a crowd of 100 men. I really did that like T. Rogers. I don't know what y'all dudes was doing, because I know y'all was in the penitentiary. I know y'all was in the penitentiary going from box to box, jumping out, going. I was in the streets, going from house to house, setting up them nines on the weekends from 5 to 9 every Saturday, making sure my brothers got up and hit each other up, making sure that we was out on that block together, making sure that bills was paid. At 15 years old, I was paying bills. At 15 years old, I was making sure my homies was good. And I was a little homie, but in the presence of a big homie, stomping like a big dog everywhere. You understand me, bad vibes? So when you tell me, yo, no, oh, nah, you crazy, you wild, and Jim Jones, no, he had an influence, bro, and y'all discrediting this man like he didn't have an influence. Who else was holding down the Damu culture on the East Coast, bro? Let me know. Niggas want to say false claiming, false flagging, misrepresentation and all that. Why? Because he ain't look out for y'all? Because he ain't give y'all no money? Because he ain't check in with y'all? Nah, bro. He ain't have to. He was checking in with his set. That's what he was doing. He was making sure them people in Harlem was situated, bro. That's all I'm saying. And they had a mass influence. Nobody knew. Everybody thought Cam was Blood. Cam never was Blood. Why did they think that, though? Because he was with Jim Jones. Because he was with Juelz Santana. Because they had Harlem shaking. Really shaking. Everywhere. And they was outside. How I know? Because I was outside. Yeah. But I was humble. I was hustling humble. You feel me? I was upright. I was where I was supposed to be. I was absorbing the energy and the love and the culture and all of that. Until I went to the penitentiary and seen a bunch of 1090 set trip and dumb shit. And that was in the 2000, the millennium, when I went in 2002. You understand what I'm saying? But what I could tell y'all is this. Jim Jones may not be your idol gangster who went to the penitentiary, who put in all the work. Do y'all know T. Rogers never went to the penitentiary either? And that's a forefather, a real triple OG. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that T. Rogers never went to the penitentiary? Did y'all know that T. Rogers orchestrated and organized the same way in LA, but just through more communication and organizing? Yeah, he didn't go to the penitentiary. We don't even know if T. Rogers really put in some real work. But what we do know is he was the face. He was the face of the Stones. Yeah. The Jungle Stones, yeah, he was the face of that. And nobody could deny it. I talked to him personally before he died. I talked to Elgin Trammell, who founded the LA Brims, right? I speak to those who I need to speak to, and I know what I know. You understand what I'm saying? And I've been in the penitentiary on the East Coast in New York State Penitentiary 23 years of my 43 years of existence. And I've been around them all. Almost them all, because I ain't never been around you, Bad Vibes. But Ez, Magoo, Tankhead, Pee-wee, Lacey, Mandu, Germs, Pamphlet, you name them, Dick Wolf, you name them, I've been amongst them. Understand that. And if I didn't be amongst them, I got next to them when I was supposed to. Soul B, Shaquell, CK, ask them. Pimp. You understand what I'm saying? So, Bad Vibes. What I'm giving Jim Jones credit for is spreading it worldwide, making it known that East Coast, the Billies, the movement of blood for the East Coast, the representation. Yeah, it made the news. It did make the news for some negative, dumb shit. And guess who handled that nigga? You know who handled Darleno Valentine? Yours truly. And I think, I believe I think another UBN nigga had it out with him too. But I also had it out with him. You understand what I'm saying? We went gun to gun. Back in 2003. You understand what I'm saying? And he was the reason, part of the reason of the negative shit that was put on our name for the cut-ins in Brooklyn. So to answer Top Flight, Top Dollar, you was right. You was absolutely right. In 98, I believe, it was a world spread. They put us on the news, all of that shit about the cut-ins, about the old ladies, about people getting hit for wearing red and shit. That wasn't no positive influence. That wasn't no positive spread. That wasn't nothing nobody wanted to glorify and be a part of, bro. That shit was some foolery, stupid. That wasn't even blood-like activity. So if you talking about that was the spread of this shit, y'all niggas is kind of cuckoo in the head. You feel me? Because that made people not want to fuck with this. I remember before I got locked up in 98, I remember I used to have females coming, yo, you see what y'all doing? Yo, they used to be talking down. Oh, them fucking dirty ass niggas. And I had to clean that up. I had to clean the image up, the negative image that was being spread about us. That wasn't positive, bro. Jim Jones and Dipset gave us a positive spread. It made people want to be this. And that's all the message that I was giving. Yeah, I take a lot of credit from this guy, but in the same token, you got to understand that he put a spark to us and an enlightenment to us, and then he traveled. And no matter what niggas want to say, he took that risk like I took that risk going out to Cali by himself, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? That means a lot. Stop being a hater, man. Give props where it's due. And you should be trying to link and not trying to motherfucking, disqualify. This is Loaf Life, man. Y'all deserve a Grammy, man. This is hard facts from a hard hat. And you already know, even though a nigga maintain how I maintain, this hat is always on tight.
Yeah, man, I'm back at it. Come on, today's a new day. Got your bling, I've been in the suitcase. So go on down to Harlem, tell them that I sent ya. Y'all tell them it's August, I'm going to November. I need a couple, just get abroad, have them sent up. Call my bird, get my broad, have them sent up. Please, call my squad, have them sent me in a town, I like it. I run up on them with the feeling like it's my block now, alright, chill. He understood me quite clear. Then I think the silence right here, and I got back to my business, back to the kitchen and Pyrex vision. I let that sit in, get hard, get to the block and mission. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is how I'm living, and this is how I get caught. Know me more than this. I hear my listening to gangster music. I stood at home here, so flipping candles, watching how the gangsters do it. I stood alone, getting from a thick chicken sandwich. Yeah, now I see them around the corner. Gotta stay while I survive in a city with a skinny. I know it's the city with a skinny dry here. Yo, next side here, twisted when they drop here. Lick here, big pop and pop here. One more for shine locked inside here. Two more for camp for taking over the rock here. Yeah, it's my year, so okay. Y'all here with me? No way. What? I won't say y'all had to come out, yo. With Rancho, just close and tacos. Got me this, I told y'all before, I showed y'all before. I stood alone watching the wall and the song, hear my sitting in gangster music. I stood at home here, the song flicking the candle, watching how the gangsters do it.
Young Guru, Just Blaze, Killer, Diplomat.
So who gonna deny that this right here wasn't the shit that made everybody want to be blood? Who gonna deny this, man? Dipset, man. And then when they came out with that other track, throw up your set, Dipset, what you rap, what you, come on, bro. That made everybody want to be blood. Not only that, it made the industry want to link on some blood shit. Because in the 90s and the mid-90s, they wasn't doing all of that. You had, in the 80s, you had Booyah Tribe, you had DJ Quick, you had motherfucking Mac 10, you had a lot of homies in the industry, but it was quiet. Only people that knew was the people that was banging. Oh, them niggas is bloods. Shit, a lot of people ain't even know Snoop was Crip when he was with Death Row until years later. Yeah, let's get to that. Let's get to the truth. Yeah, man, you got to give Jimmy and Juelz they motherfucking credit for spreading this beat in the streets and in the industry. You know what I mean? And I ain't no hater, man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I was the biggest brim at one time. Even with Lace and Pee Wee, you know, no disrespect. Those are the top dogs of the top dogs. And Dada, 3-8, all of them. They the top of the top. You know what I mean? But guess what? In these streets, OG Manny Brim. At that time, I was called YG Manny Brim. Yes, young gangster, because I really went to the land. Yeah, that part. So, Bad Vibes, I think you want to have a conversation with me to get to know where I'm from and where I stand. I don't think you want to do this on social media with me. Check in, tap in. I know who you are. Crystal Diamonds, right? Oh, and that's another thing. You allowed the UBN to do some shit to IB that I would have never allowed nobody to do to Lace or Pee Wee. Let's get to that. Mm-hmm. And not a BSV or 5'9" allowed it. Let's get to that.